The whole road to Tokyo 2020 has been beset by, well, things really ranging from niggling little problems and embarrassments to financial scandals, and now, attempts to hold the biggest sporting celebration in the world in the middle of a pandemic. People are now beginning to question the wisdom of holding an event on the scale of the Olympics, not just while cases are surging and while vaccines are being administered at such a slow pace, but I think the biggest driver of this growth in opposition to the games is the pressure the games will put on Japan's healthcare. Just in the past week, Japan as a whole recorded more than 7,000 coronavirus cases, and that's the highest daily number since January. They're already under a great deal of strain, particularly in Osaka. There are people who are testing positive for the virus who are being told to wait at home because there are no hospital beds for them. More than a dozen people have died of the virus at home while waiting for medical treatment since March. At a recent IOC press conference, a lone protester holding up a sign and said,
"No Olympics anywhere, no Olympics anywhere, fuck the Olympics. We don't want the Olympics anywhere."
You just turn him off.
And that's a sentiment shared by a lot of people in Japan, although they may not express it in exactly the same way. Significantly, a number of tennis players have said,
there's going to be a lot of people entering the country, so they definitely have to make the right decisions on that.
If it's now, I think it's really tough.
They do have doubts. There should be a conversation about this. It should at least be something that's being considered. And then the US track and field team had decided to cancel their pre-games camp in Japan as well. Now, they've released all these playbooks that are supposedly going to protect athletes and protect journalists covering the games, anyone really associated with the Olympics who's expected to come to Tokyo in the summer. So they have all these measures in place. But if you look back over the last few months, there's one thing that they have absolutely no control over, and that's the coronavirus. Yeah. And Japan is and will be by July a largely unvaccinated nation. As far as the Japanese government and the IOC and the Tokyo 2020 organisers are concerned,
the games can go ahead and will go ahead.
And in fact, the head of the Tokyo Organising Committee, Seiko Hashimoto, said that the idea that the Olympics might be cancelled or possibly postponed again didn't even come up in conversation with IOC officials. So officially, it's still on.